Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the 50 top stories from around the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz has resigned from the Netanyahu government. Gantz has tendered his resignation over disagreements on a post-war Gaza plan. While announcing the decision, Gantz said that Netanyahu is preventing Israel from approaching true victory. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in West Asia again to push for a ceasefire plan. The top U.S. diplomat is paying his 8th visit to the region since the war between Hamas and Israel broke out. Blinken first visited Egypt, and now he is slated to visit Israel for talks. The Yemen-based Houthi rebels have claimed that they attacked a British destroyer in the Red Sea. The Houthis say that they used ballistic missiles to target the ship called the HMS Diamond. However, Britain's Defence Ministry has dismissed this claim. Far-right parties have made major gains in the European Union elections. The candidates backed by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni won the most votes in her country. The parties led by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and French President Emmanuel Macron faced big defeats. The French president announced snap legislative elections and dissolved parliament before the completion of its 5-year term after facing defeat. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, has warned of a new response to South Korea's psychological warfare. The warning follows South Korea's loudspeaker broadcast directed at the North. Earlier, North Korea resumed the sending of balloons attached with trash to South Korea. A deadly terror attack in Indian Union Territory, Jammu and Kashmir, has killed at least 9 people and left about 33 others injured. The attack took place in Jammu's Reisi district. Now, the terrorists opened fire at a bus filled with pilgrims, which was on its way to Katra. The driver lost control of the bus and it plunged into a gorge. Narendra Modi took oath as the Prime Minister of India yesterday for the 3rd time. He is the first Indian Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru to win a 3rd term. The grand event at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi was attended by several world leaders. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi assumed office after his oath-taking ceremony yesterday. As his first task, he approved incentives worth 20,000 crore rupees for Indian farmers. The Indian Prime Minister is holding a cabinet meeting today on his first day back in office. The distribution of cabinet portfolios is likely to top today's agenda. Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister addressed officials of the Prime Minister's office for the first time after taking oath yesterday. Now, along with the Prime Minister, his council of 72 ministers took oath yesterday. His team includes 30 cabinet ministers, 5 ministers of state with independent charge, and 36 ministers of state. Some of the top names include Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, J.P. Nadda, and Jayesh Shankar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ministers include 7 women. 2 of them hold cabinet ranks. Former Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is also a part of the government. After taking oath, Prime Minister Narendra Modi issued a message. He promised that India will continue to work for peace, progress and prosperity. He also said that India would continue to amplify the voice of the global South. The Indian Prime Minister met his Nepali counterpart Pushpa Kamal Dahal, or Prachand, this morning. Prachand was in New Delhi to attend the Indian Prime Minister's swearing-in ceremony. The duo discussed the enhancement of relations between the two nations. And an unexpected guest attended Prime Minister Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony. A viral video shows a cat-like animal in the background of a BJP MP greeting President Murmu after taking his oath. Now, the clip left viewers speculating whether it was a leopard, an ordinary cat, or a dog. And Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has met Opposition Congress Party Chairperson Sonia Gandhi, Party MP Rahul Gandhi, and General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. The Bangladesh Prime Minister was spotted hugging the trio. Hasina came to New Delhi to attend Prime Minister Modi's swearing-in ceremony on the 9th of June. And in climate news now, Indian weather officials say that the capital, New Delhi, and nearby regions is under a severe heat wave spell. The conditions will likely persist until Thursday. Delhi's maximum temperature on Sunday touched 42.5 degrees Celsius. The region is set to get even warmer in the coming days. A massive fire broke out in Udhampur's Pingar forest area in the Indian Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Forest officials have deployed dozens of firefighters to contain the blaze. According to reports, a large amount of natural resource wealth has been lost in this fire. Wildfires continue to ravage the world's largest tropical wetland, the Pantanal wetland in Brazil. The fires are now advancing toward the Bolivian border. Due to the weak rainfall last year, the region has become more vulnerable to fire. High temperatures have caused an intense drought in Mexico's Querétaro state. The mercury has crossed 40 degrees Celsius in some areas. Over the weekend, thousands of dead fish blanketed the surface of a lagoon in Mexico's northern state of Chihuahua. According to the Mexican government, drought of some form is afflicting nearly 90% of Mexico. Now, in Austria, floods ravaged parts of the Styria state. Streets were submerged and washed away by water. The Austrian Weather Department is forecasting more rain for today and tomorrow. And on to business and tech news now. Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference is set to kick off today. The iPhone maker is expected to make several big announcements during the four-day event. A special focus will be on artificial intelligence. Apple is expected to unveil its next-generation softwares for iPhone, iPad, Mac, and its other products. Apple will likely showcase some of its upcoming AI-powered tools. Its voice assistant Siri is also reportedly getting an AI update. And Microsoft has unveiled new versions of its gaming console Xbox. The tech giant has introduced 3 new consoles, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and a special version of the Series X console. The firm has also released trailers for more than a dozen video games, and this includes the next installment of Call of Duty and Doom: The Dark Ages. This comes as the gaming industry has been mired by a slowdown. And India's fintech firm Paytm is laying off some of its employees. The firm says it's part of the company's restructuring plan. Paytm hasn't revealed the number of employees they will let go. In May, the firm's CEO said they want to reduce expenses on employees. Earlier this year, India's central bank imposed restrictions on Paytm's banking unit, which has impacted its income. Now, Norway's sovereign wealth fund plans to vote against Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package as Tesla's CEO. Norway's sovereign wealth fund is Tesla's 8th largest shareholder. The sovereign fund says it is concerned about the size of the payment. Elon Musk's 2018 pay package was nullified by a U.S. judge earlier this year. However, Tesla shareholders are set to vote on reinstating the package next week. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has said that Tesla will not launch an upgraded version of its Model Y car this year. This comes as the electric car giant has been facing a slowdown in demand for its cars. Earlier, it was reported that Tesla might refresh its existing car models to boost demand. And Swedish luxury car maker Volvo is reportedly planning to shift its production from China. The car maker will likely move its production to Belgium. Now, this comes as the European Union is considering action against imported Chinese cars. The EU is planning to introduce new tariffs on Chinese cars. The bloc is concerned about the impact of cheap Chinese cars on their own industry. Oil giant Saudi Aramco's share prices rose over a percentage point yesterday. This comes after reports said that the Saudi Kingdom-owned firm is poised to raise over $11 billion in share sales. Last week, Aramco started the sale of nearly 0.7% of its shares. As per reports, a majority of these shares have been allocated to foreign investors. American investment firm Elliott Investment has reportedly bought nearly $2 billion worth of stakes in Southwest Airlines. The investment firm plans to push for changes in the airline. This comes as Southwest Airlines has been facing slowing demand. Earlier this year, the airline said it is expecting slow revenue growth this year. And the UK's financial market watchdog is reportedly planning to overhaul public listing norms in the country. The move aims to make it easier for companies to list their stocks on the London Stock Exchange. This comes as the number of initial public offerings has significantly declined in the UK. The new rules are expected to be announced after the UK's elections. And the euro slipped to a one-month low against the US dollar today. The European Union's currency fell half a percentage point to touch 1.07 against US dollar. This comes as investors were concerned over the EU's parliamentary elections. Exit polls indicated a surge of far-right parties in the polls. The euro is used by 20 EU countries as a common currency. And on to sports news now. India beat Pakistan by 6 runs in the ICC T20 World Cup yesterday. The match took place at New York's Nassau County Stadium. India were put into bat first. After a shaky start, Rishabh Pant's 42 runs gave India a modest 119 to defend. It was the bowlers who ensured India's victory yesterday. Leading the way was Jasprit Bumrah, who picked up 3 wickets for just 14 runs. And Scotland defeated Oman in the T20 World Cup Group B match. Batting first, Oman posted 150 on the board. In response, Scotland chased the target in 13 overs. Scotland's Brandon McCullum had scored 61 off 31 balls, and he was also the player of the match. And in football, Italy defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 1-0 yesterday to win their final warm-up match before the Euros. Now, Italy's Fratesi scored the only goal of the match. The Euros are set to begin on the 14th of June. And Argentina warmed up for the defense of their Copa America crown with a 1-0 friendly victory over Ecuador. The friendly took place in the U.S. city of Chicago. Argentina's Angel Di Maria scored the only goal of the game. He managed to bag his 31st international goal in the 40th minute of the match. In tennis, Carlos Alcaraz defeated Alexander Zverev to clinch his maiden French Open title. Alcaraz won the first set 6-3, but then Germany's Zverev recovered to win the next 2 sets 6-2, 7-5. Things were looking bleak for Spain's Alcaraz, but he managed to turn it around. Alcaraz won the 4th set 6-1 and the 5th and final set 6-2. This was the Spaniard's 3rd Grand Slam title. He had won 2022 US Open and the 2023 Wimbledon as well. And Iga Swiatek has won the French Open champion for the 3rd straight time. Swiatek crushed 12th seed Jasmine Paolini on Saturday to claim the crown. The victory gained Swiatek her 5th Grand Slam title, and she has also become the 3rd woman to capture 3 consecutive French Open titles after Henin and Seles. And Coco Gauff and Katerina Sinakova claimed the French Open women's doubles title yesterday. The duo scored 7-6, 6-3 victory over Italians Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini. The win was Sliakova's 8th women's Grand Slam doubles crown and Gauff's first. And India's top-ranked singles player Sumit Nagal won the Heilbronner Neckar Cup ATP Challenger. He defeated Switzerland's Alexander Ritschard in the 3 hard-fought sets, 6-1, 6-7, 6-3 yesterday. With this title triumph, he will be entering the top 80 of the ATP rankings, making him eligible to compete in the Paris Olympics next month. And the Paris 2024 Olympic torch relay arrived in French Guiana yesterday. The relay began from the Amazon rainforest, with various locals joining in as torchbearers. It is the first French overseas territory to welcome the Olympic torch. The torch is making its way through France ahead of the Paris Games. And Red Bull's Max Verstappen won the Canadian Grand Prix in a thrilling race. The 25-year-old Dutchman started second behind George Russell of Mercedes. He managed to surge ahead, surpassing Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. This is Max Verstappen's third straight Canadian Grand Prix victory. And in entertainment news, Bad Boys Ride or Die has topped the North American box office. Now, the film collected an estimated amount of $56 million in its opening weekend. Bad Boys Ride or Die released on the 7th of June. And Marvel released a new trailer of Deadpool and Wolverine. The video promises high-octane action scene between the pivotal characters. The trailer also hinted at a cameo of Lady Deadpool, who is known as Wonder Wilson. The film will release on the 26th of July. And actor Whitney Peake has been roped in Tommy Wirkola's untitled shark thriller. She will be seen in the film alongside Phoebe Dynevor. Now, the shooting will commence in July this year in Melbourne, and the story will revolve around a community of people attacked by sharks. And Brian T., who played the role of Dr. Choi in Chicago Med, is open to return to the show. He says if the time and the right storyline comes along, maybe it might happen. T is now directing the episodes of the medical drama. And popular animated series Gravity Falls might come back to screens again. Disney is in talks with the show's creator to develop a plan. The 20-episode show premiered on Disney in 2012, and the show follows the life of two siblings who investigate mysteries. And Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department has scored a 7th straight week at #1 on the Billboard 200. Poets is the first album to spend 7 weeks at #1 since Morgan Wallen's One Thing at a Time. The album released on the 19th of April. And according to reports, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's $60 million marital mansion is on sale. They bought the house a year ago after house hunting for a long time. This comes after reports started doing the rounds suggesting that the couple is headed for a divorce. And rapper Sean Combs' honorary degree from Howard University has been revoked. They will also return Combs' $1 million contribution and cancel his other $1 million pledge. This comes after a video of him assaulting his former girlfriend was released online. And Xbox Games revealed that the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will launch on the 25th of October. It will be available for paid users with the Xbox Game Pass subscription. Gameplay footage from the new Call of Duty was unveiled at a theater in Los Angeles. And UK TV presenter Michael Mosley was found dead in Greece. His body was recovered from the Agia Marina beach on Simi Island. His wife said he might have taken a wrong turn and collapsed before reaching the beach. 67-year-old Mosley was well known in Britain for his regular appearances on television and radio. And that's it on today's episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.